Hello there, YouTube. Devin here again, and this video is going to be on this series, I should say. It's a new series I'm going to start. It's going to be on a lot of people wanted to see what my Airsoft loadout is, and so we're going to go over each individual part of my Airsoft loadout here as we go, because a lot of you guys wanted to see that. Now, this video is going to be on the headwear that I wear during my, well, specifically my helmets. I'll change the hat ups normally depending on what the weather's like. But this is going to be on what I would wear normally for the different teams I like to play on and everything like that. Instead of having just one outfit that I normally will play in, I do have one outfit that I play in way more than others, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But I mostly try to keep it pretty historically accurate. I'm not big into portraying the special forces or anything like that. Like everyone's trying to portray a Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger or anything like that. I'm normally just trying to portray an average Joe. And I normally do a pretty realistic type of airsoft. Like even if I'm going out to play with just like woods ball with my friends and stuff, they can bring all their high caps and their AEGs. But I run a gas gun, so it has recoil and everything. And I run fairly typical standout. I'll only load my magazines to 30. So I can stay accurate. I try to stay pretty historically accurate as far as it goes when I'm actually playing airsoft. So I'm big into the milsim. A lot of my friends are more into the woods ball. I've got one or two friends that are pretty big into milsim with me, and we go out together a lot to some milsim events. Or even when we're just playing out in the weekend, we'll normally stay pretty milsim gear loadout based as far as having a pack and an actual helmet and actual plates in your plate carrier and stuff like that goes. So this just to give you guys an idea of what my normal play style is like. So we'll get into the headgear here that you guys wanted by popular request. You wanted to see my Airsoft loadouts. So we're going to start with the headgear of all the major loadouts that I play. Now, depending on what area, what time period I'm trying to portray, or anything like that, there's kind of a couple different countries I like to portray. This is just a PASGAT, all right? This can be used for just about any country that has a Kevlar helmet because it's so close to the Kevlar helmet they field now currently or have fielded, and they're cheap and readily available out there. You can find a brand new one for $100, one that has never been worn on another head ever in its entire lifespan, because so many of them are that made. Or you can get super lightweight models or tactical models or models that'll float. Models that are made out of polyethylene fibers. You can get ballistic polymer ones. You can get them in Kevlar. You can get them in Spectra. You can get them. PASGATs there's shit tons of them out there, and they're coming every color of the rainbow pretty much. But this is just a standard US one. This one is a Gentex model, and this one was made, I believe it was 1989 or something like that. It's a pretty standard size large PASGAT. I'm currently in, this one's currently a project though that I'm working on. I'm going to turn it into the most bitchin' PASGAT you've ever seen. It's probably going to be my new most worn helmet when I go out and actually play Airsoft once I get it done. Because it's got kind of a different liner setup than most do. It's got the PASGAT liner. I'm debating on whether I want to put a 4-point or a 3-point chin strap in it. This, I'm just going to leave the 2-point chin strap on so that way I don't have empty screw holes on there. So I'll just tuck it over the bill like US people did on the M1. It has the Ultra Comfort sweatband. It has the standard liner, but I have taken the liberty of putting ballistic impact foam like you find in an ECH, but instead of being 3/4 of an inch thick, they're only 1/2-inch pads behind it. So you get all the benefits of the ACH pads as far as the impact protection goes with this setup. But you're also getting the breathability of the PASGAT system. So this doesn't have all the parts on it that I normally have on it. I'm going to repaint this thing, and it's going to get a bunch of different other parts and liner things in it. And I'll let you guys know when it's done, kind of like I did with my Franken helmet on my M1. That's kind of what this is going to turn into. I'm going to get like a big... I'm going to manufacture like a leather pad that I can go over this so the donut ring doesn't cut into your head. That'll slip over these bands and everything like that. I'm gonna make one hell of a PASGAT helmet. So But this is just your standard US large PASGAT, and I use this when I portray Desert Storm or when I portray other helmets that I'm not necessarily, that I can't either get their helmet for or I'm not sure what their helmet is. I'll use the PASGAT for that. So yeah, there's a video on my PASGAT if you want to go see that. It's in my helmet playlist. But we'll move right on down the line here. Now, when I play the United States, there's normally two things I like to do. I will either run my lightweight helmet, which this still has the Marpat cover on it. I don't run Marpat normally when I play. This has the Marpat cover on it, and I'll usually run my lightweight helmet depending on if I'm playing. I normally rope Canada and the United States together. I have called my loadouts vice versa because it pretty much just comes down to what camouflage pattern I want to run, whether it's CAD pat or multicam. So you can find me wearing these. Usually, I'll usually have a multicam PASGAT cover on this, an aftermarket one, or I'll have a CAD pat PASGAT cover on here, depending on what I like to run, because I don't want to damage my CG634 anymore, because I beat the shit out of my CG634. I have two of them. I have one that I keep nice and one that is I'm currently repairing. So I'll probably start using that again once I drop a new liner in my CG634. But till then, I have a couple of Gen 1 lightweight helmets because I like suspensions better than pads. And I'll run my lightweight helmet because it's close enough and I like the extra coverage, especially with the people that I play with. They run their guns pretty hot. So I like to play with the extra coverage that the PASGAT style shell offers over the ACH. I do have an ACH. I used to run an ACH when I played Airsoft for a long time. But when I'm playing as the United States, I normally will run either a lightweight helmet or I'll run my like Cry airframe or something like that. So I don't like to run something that has the pads in it, the standard ACH pads anyways. So this also has its own video if you wanted to see that. Feel free to go to my helmet playlist and watch that if you want to learn more. So I also like to play the opposition forces or terrorists or anything like that, as you call them. And so this is a leather peckle hat made out of Astrakhan sheepskin, which is very common in the Balkans region. Astrakhan leather is a very, very awesome fabric. I use it on a lot of stuff, actually. I have coats made out of this and gloves and everything because it gives you all the benefits of wool, except it doesn't have the itch. It's a very tightly curled thing. It's a very elegant looking type of wool. As you can see, this is just sheepskin. You can see it's got this very tightly curled loops. It's fairly shiny. It doesn't itch. No matter how much you rub your skin on it, this won't itch. And so I run a packle, and it's just a silk lined packle. Actually, this is a very, very high end one. And one of my buddies picked up a couple of these for me when he was over in Afghanistan. He's actually French. He's part of the French military, and he picked up a couple of these for me. I got a black one, but I normally run this brown one when I'm playing. I also got just the standard wool ones, but this one's a lot more comfortable because it doesn't itch as bad as the normal wool ones do. So that's what I run when I'm normally playing as like the opposition forces or something like that. So I will run the peckle hat because I like it. I also have like the different kinds of wraps depending on if I'm portraying a different Arabic country, because the packle's mostly used in like Afghanistan and Pakistan and stuff like that. But once you get down more to the Middle East, it tends to be more of the standard field caps and stuff like that, or the different variations of the head wraps they have. So, but this is usually what I like to run. So we'll move right on down the line. This is probably the outfit that I play the most, and it's a contractor's outfit. Now, I used to wear the PASGAT for my contractor's outfit, but I recently purchased two RBR F6s in size large in black, and this one is a work in progress. I'm still trying to get a cover for it, but it has a British Webtex rubber helmet band. It has an Israeli Orlite dual elastic band on it, just to attach foliage and your goggles and everything. It's got lots of retention on it. It's got D-ring in the back. It's made by Oso Gear. And there's the liner on my F6. I like to run the F6 as my contractor loadout. I've gone out to play twice, and so far I've used this helmet as my Contractor loadout, because I play Contractor the most, because you could just wear jeans. I don't need to worry about ruining any of my really expensive camouflage, like my Cry Precision pants and stuff like that. I can wear just jeans or throw together shit and stuff that I have in my car if I just play a pickup game or something. My buddy's like, hey, you want to come up and play Airsoft after work? I'm like, sure, because I always got a spare pair of pants or something in my car. I could just throw this on in my plate carrier and go play Contractor. So this is my RBR F6 I use for playing Contractor normally, or Mercenary, or whatever you want to call it. So then, like I said, I like to play Canadian. So I have, because it's a thing that's, I try not to do what everyone else is doing on the Airsoft field, because you could see so many of the multi-glam Army Rangers and the Navy SEALs and stuff like that. So I tried to change it up. I still kept North American, because pretty much everywhere that the US has gone, Canada has followed. Canadian stuff is relatively easy for me to get. So I run a CG634, and I get a lot of questions all the time on my outfit, because I usually play in full CG634. I have full desert and full temperate CAD-PAT uniforms that I wear, so depending on the season and where I'm playing in the country. So I do travel around a lot to play Airsoft. I go out and play like Milsim West and stuff like that. I've been in a few of those and things like that. So I run CAD-PAT a lot, because it's a pretty uncommon thing to see on the Airsoft field. Not a lot of people run it. So you get a lot of questions and you get a lot of head turns and stuff, and I like that, as well as it's representing the country I'm from. So I very much like the CAD-PAT style stuff. And this is on a size medium CG634. You've seen this in a number of different videos if you've been following the channel at all for any amount of time. So if you want any more information on this, there's a couple videos on these, and you can feel free to check those out in my helmet playlists if you want to see more. And then I play Russian, and this is the Russian helmet I normally run. I used to run the SSH-68N, which was my first like composite Russian helmet, but that is ungodly heavy because it's a steel and composite. It's like so ungodly heavy. And a couple years ago, I came across a couple 6B27s. They were in terrible condition, really, really beat up. The liners were just totally rotted and they stank, and they tons of sweat in them, and they were missing parts, and they were all rusty. So what I did was I took one that was, I believe, salvageable. The shell was in still nice condition anyways. And I dropped a 6B71M or 6B47 chin strap assembly and liner in it, and I threw an old synthetic leather PASGAP band over it just to make it a little bit more comfortable. And I'm very, very happy with this helmet. It's very, very lightweight. It's very, very comfortable now. I like the camouflage on it. It's a very versatile camouflage. I really like this cover. So I run, when I play as Russian, I'll normally run this, which is the Twilight camouflage pattern, or I'll run the Digital Flora camouflage pattern, depending on what you have to play in, because a lot of the milsims will have a certain side play as a color, like Russians will play as green, and Americans will play as tan, and usually they'll decide whether multicam is green or tan and stuff like that. So you just roll with it. So I have a bunch of different camouflage patterns for each country I play as. So hopefully you guys like this video and you're interested in this playlist, because I know a lot of you guys wanted to see what I run in Airsoft. So I didn't have all the goggles or everything on here normally, because I change my goggles depending on the different play rules of the field and stuff like that. So but hopefully you guys like this video, and you want to see more, because I'm thinking the next video I'll do will be on like the actual camouflage patterns I run, and I'll do like the various footwear I will wear depending on what country I'm trying to portray, and then I'll go into like the body armor I use, and the guns, and how I like to run my setup and stuff like that. So I'll make those in future videos if this one gets enough views and enough likes. Please leave in the comments if you want to see more of my Airsoft loadouts and stuff like that. And I'll keep making these. So once again, thank you so much for watching, you guys. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.